Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me, as always, is Vivek Iyer. A very range-bound market today. It's a 100-point balance that we're looking at on the Nifty. Not major moves, but small caps, they continue to do well. And so do the mid-caps. Not big moves there, but definitely better than the benchmarks.
The mid-cap and the small cap, holding above the green line. But what's actually happened in the last hour of the session is the fact that the Nifty bank has seen quite a bit of selling pressure, now near the day's lowest point. But quite a lot line up on the show. We'll start off with the top headlines. Range-bound day of trade with the Nifty moving in a 100-point band. FMCG and consumer durables gain, while realty and PSU banks come under pressure. Broader markets outperform.
Shipbuilding stocks see recovery after yesterday's fall. Mazagon Dock Management tells CNBC-TV18 the company's order book is at 40,000 crore with another 27,000 crore of potential submarine orders likely to be awarded over the next few months.
CESC surges in trade after its subsidiary, Purva Green Power, incorporates a wholly owned subsidiary company called EcoFusion Power, which will explore opportunities in renewable power sector. Stock up over 8%.
GETND India under pressure as promoters evaluate shareholding structure and possibility of a minority stake sale. Stock is down 5%.
Aurobindo Pharma under pressure after details of FDA's warning letter to the company's arm Eugia Pharma units emerge. FDA observes that the firm failed to ensure that laboratory records included complete data derived from all tests.
Okay, so those are some of the stocks which are on our radar today. We'll discuss them in greater detail and talk about the mid-cap movers as well. Talking about mid-caps, that space is doing well, at least better than the benchmarks as we've been talking. The small-cap index is also up 1%, but it's very sector and stock specific today. Not all of them in the green, not all of them seeing big moves as well. But the Nifty Media Index, that's up 1%. FMCG stocks have made a comeback. Pharma is doing well, so the defensives are making a comeback today. We have the metal index, which is also surging, so 0.4% higher there. But largely, you have to say the advance decline ratio in favor of the advances, but still continues to be very stock specific.
Absolutely right. So, the bulls continue to make merry. Another sector that's doing quite well is the insurance pack. After the sell-off that you saw on Monday, last two trading sessions, you're actually seeing quite a bit of buying emerge as far as the entire insurance space is concerned. So look at names like SBI Life, HDFC Life, all of them trending higher today. But there are quite a lot of stocks on Hormaz's radar. Hormaz is standing by the wall in our special segment, Midcap Movers, to take you about the midcaps that are buzzing in the session.
Indeed, it's a sluggish day, and there are enough and more number of stocks, though, in the broader markets that continue to do well in today's session. One such stock that has seen a spike today is Nykaa, and that is the stock we'd begin with in the list of the gainers. 1 point was up almost 19% and marking the best day since November of 2022 for Nykaa. Now back above the mark of 200, crossing 60,000 crore in market cap. Alok Industries, Century Textiles also was up 10.5% at 1 point, and Jubilant Foods at the highest point of the day, now 4% higher as we speak. Shipbuilders are seeing a bit of a recovery in today's session after that 3-day sell-off that we have had. Mazagon Dock has almost recovered yesterday's losses, now 7.5% higher at the highest point of the day, and similar recovery seen in Cochin Shipyard and Garden Reach as well. Stocks that are doing well on the back of strong volumes, and they'll come up on your screen. Capri Global now at the lowest point of the day, 3.5% higher, but off the day's high. Mastech, Just Dial and CESC seeing some very healthy gains on strong volumes. Pharma is a sector barring Aurobindo. Most of the other names are doing well. Ipca Labs, Glenmark, Sanofi, all of them nearing the highest point of the day. And lastly, some losers in the broader markets in today's session. ICICI Securities now down 6% after the NCLT approved its delisting. Nuvama Wealth, Godfrey Phillips seeing some profit booking, and Torrent Power, yesterday's high flyer, also now at the lowest point of the day, 4.5% lower. Back to you guys.
Okay, all right. Suddenly it feels like a void after earnings, right? We don't have movers on the basis of earnings, but thank you so much, Hormaz, for joining us and telling us which stocks are moving around in the broader markets. It's a good time to get a technical check on the markets. Ruchit Jain of 5paisa.com is joining in. Ruchit, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, it's been very, very range-bound today. We did see weakness globally, but that has not really translated into our own markets. Do you think these are the levels we should be watching out for today?
Yes, hi. Very good afternoon, Sonal. Very good afternoon, Vivek. Well, the broader trend for the market still remains positive because, in spite of this consolidation, but because what we have seen that if you look at the F&O data, then the client section has a long short ratio of around 52%. FIs have long short ratio around 52%. And last few days of data indicates that there is no selling pressure that is going on. There is no selling data that is coming. So I think it's a lot of stock specific action which is going on. So market breadth is still positive. It's just that the lower time frame chart momentum readings have become a bit overbought after this recent rally from 23,900 to 24,700. So that needs to cool off either with some kind of consolidation or a minor pullback move. I don't think one should worry much about these consolidations. The market breadth is still healthy. So one can take a stock specific approach. And as far as levels are concerned, 24,500 to 24,550. I think this is a very strong support range on any kind of dip for the Nifty index. So in case if we get any such decline, one should take that as a buying opportunity. So we are advising our clients to keep a buy and dip approach for the index, and even a stock specific approach at current levels should be a good idea to trade.
Good afternoon, Richard. So you said a stock-specific approach is what one should look at. So which are the stocks on your radar today? What is it that you're recommending?
There will be a couple of recommendations on the buy side. Since the broader markets are doing well, one will be a buy call in Titan. So the consumer durable segment itself is looking quite positive, and after this entire correction tip phase since the month of February, Titan has now resumed its high top, high bottom structure. Today, if we look at the price volume action, then the stock has given a breakout from a falling trendline resistance, which is supported by higher than average volume. So I think this stock can do well. We expect some good catch-up move in the near term. So with the stock below 34.50, short-term traders can go along with potential targets around 37.50. And Alchem Laboratories is another pick that I would recommend. Recently, we have witnessed a breakout. The entire pharma space has been doing well. Technically, there's a formation of a bullish flag pattern on the daily chart. So one can go long here as well, keeping a stop loss below 5,620 for potential targets around 6,100 in the near term.
All right. Okay, Richard, thank you so much for joining in. So those are some technical picks coming in from our technical analyst. We'll sip into a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by management of Dhanuka Agritech. We'll discuss company's business outlook and the buyback that they announced recently. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back. You're still tuned into Midcap Radar, and the stock on our radar right now is Dhanuka Agritech. The stock is up in trade today. The 100 crore rupee buyback opens tomorrow. Remember, the buyback price was announced at 2,000 rupees a share, and it was announced 2nd August, but it opens tomorrow. To discuss this and more on demand and business outlook, we are joined by Mahendra Kumar Dhanuka, the Vice Chairman and MD at Dhanuka Agritech. Mr. Dhanuka, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll discuss buyback in greater detail in just a bit. I just wanted to understand the quarter 2 demand trends, because you had indicated that some of the sales saw a return and that was impacted because of various factors. First, if you can explain what led to that. And second, if it has continued in August as well. So do you see more sales return coming up in coming months as well?
Good afternoon, Sonal. Let me update you that in the recent board meeting on 2nd August, I have been elevated as the chairman of the company, and Rahul Dhanuka, who was the son of Mr. R.J. Agarwal, he has been nominated as the managing director. So for future records, I just wanted to update. You are right that the material, especially the weedicides, which were placed in the month of May and June, which was to be consumed in the month of July, but because of the dry spell from 1st of July till 25th of July, the weedicide consumption was less, and those weedicides has been returned back by the distributors. So that has impacted the growth sales for the month of July. August, it is still mixed bag, not very good because of the continuous rains and the floods in number of states. So because of which the sprays has been missed out by the farmer, because the farmer is afraid that because of the continuous rains, if he spray the pesticide, it will be washed out if the rains come. So he is not basically doing the sprays. So that has been impacted the sales in the month of August also.
So, Mr. Dhanuka, then the guidance that you'd given, low double-digit growth and 100 basis points margin contraction in Q2, does that stay, or will you even do lower number than that?
No, we hope that now the rains will stop and the remaining 40 days of the season for this quarter will improve, and we will be able to deliver a lower double-digit growth by end of September.
Okay, sir. So Q2, you continue to maintain your guidance of lower double-digit growth, and before we go to the buyback, are you also maintaining your FY25 top-line growth guidance of 18 to 20%? Any tweaks over there?
No, we will continue with our guidance of 18 to 20% in the top line and 100 bips downfall in the EBITDA margins.
That's for entire FY25, the 100 basis points decline in EBITDA margins?
Yeah, for entire FY25.
Mr. Dhanuka, you've also announced a buyback of close to 100 crore. Now, the price that you've announced it is at almost 2,000 rupees a share. Question number one, will the promoters be participating? We understand it's via the tender route. So will the promoters be participating in this buyback?
Yeah, promoters will also be participating in the buyback.
And what is the rationale? I mean, did you find that to be the best utilization of cash at the current time, or what is the rationale for going for this particular buyback?
Actually, you see, there was some tax advantages in the buyback. We can reward to the shareholder, and this is the, I think, last buyback, because from 1st of October, the total amount received through buyback will be taxable in the hands of the shareholder. So I don't see that in future the buyback should take place. So considering the short time, we decided on 2nd August board meeting, and we hope before 30th September, we will complete the buyback.
Okay, that is something that a lot of companies are doing because of that new tax changes that have come by. So a slew of buybacks which have been announced by companies now. Mr. Dhanuka, what is the balance sheet looking like? If you can give us a sense of the cash that you have in your books, and is there any more capex coming up? What does it do to any more fundraising plans that you have, if you have it all?
No, we have ample cash available on our balance sheet. More than 250 crores cash is available in the balance sheet. So we don't plan for any fundraising in near future. So we hope some capex will be definitely there both at Sanand and the Udhampur, but capex at the Dahej plant will depend on some tie-up with any of the Japanese company.
Okay, sir. So, what's actually happened as far as Q1 was concerned was that you saw very strong volume growth, almost 39% volume growth, but you actually saw price realizations decline. You've also said in the con call that your new introductions, that are 3 projects, Purge, Lenovo, as well as Mycore Super, are receiving very good response from customers. What prices do you typically sell them at? Are they higher than the current product profile you currently are? And on the back of that, why is it that you're guiding for a slightly lower EBITDA margin in FY25 versus FY24?
You see, prices for the molecules depend on product to product. It's not similar for all the products. Lenovo is around 8,000 rupees a liter, and Pars is around 2,500 rupees a liter, while the Mycore Super is around 125 rupees a kg. So different products have different prices range, and margins definitely are higher because they are exclusive molecules. Dhanuka has introduced all the 3 molecules first time in India, and we are getting very good response from the farmers and the distributors.
Okay, so from here on, growth, Mr. Dhanuka, will it be volume-led or will it be led by pricing? And the growth also, will it start coming in from the Dahej plant in terms of profits this year? By when do you expect break-even there?
By FY27, we expect break-even from Dahej plant. And the second question was?
The growth from here on, will it be pricing-led or will it be completely volume-led?
No, there will be variation of 2% In the first quarter, the variation was 6% between volume and the value. I hope by the year end it will remain 2%.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dhanuka, for joining us and speaking to us about how Q1 panned by and how exactly is Q2 panning out so far. Now, moving on, speaking at a report launch on net impact of e-commerce on employment and consumer welfare in India, Piyush Goyal, the Minister of Commerce and Industry, says the exponential growth of e-commerce firms in the country is a matter of concern rather than something to be proud of. Listen in.
Are we going to cause huge social disruption with this massive growth of e-commerce? And I don't see it a matter of pride that half our market could possibly become a part of the e-commerce network 10 years from now. It's a matter of concern. But I'm not wishing away e-commerce. It's there to stay. But I don't deny that e-commerce has a role. But we'll have to think very carefully and cautiously what that role is, how that role can be in a more organized fashion. Is predatory pricing policies good for the country? When Amazon says we are going to invest $1 billion in India and we all celebrate, we forget the underlying story that $1 billion is not coming in for any great service or any great investment to support the Indian economy.
Okay, those are some telling comments coming in from the Commerce Minister. We'll keep talking about the story and get greater analysis on this as well. For now, we'll slip into a short break. When we come back, we'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Midcap Radar. As you can see on the screen, the Midcap index is the one that continues to outperform, trending above the flat line. But one stock in focus is PNB Housing. The stock is fired up in the trade on the back of a large block deal. Abhishek joins us with more details.
PNB Housing Finance is up in trade today. Now, sources do tell us that General Atlantic Singapore Fund has sold stake in PNB Housing. So, a large block took place today, about 1.39 crore shares, which is more than 5% of the equity in PNB Housing Finance. So, floor price was set at 775 per share, which was at a discount of 4.5% to yesterday's closing price. However, the trade took place at 803 per share, which is 3.5% above the floor price. This is a clean out trade because more than 5% equity was what General Atlantic was holding in PNB Housing Finance, and they have sold their entire stake. It's a clean out trade over there, and the sold BRLM is IFS Securities to this block. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Abhishek. The stock has fired up in the session on the back of this clean out trade by the private equity investor. Now, one section of the market today that's actually underperforming is the banking pack. The Nifty Bank Index now trending near the day's lowest point, and have a look at some of the heavyweights over there. Have a look at HDFC Bank, have a look at ICICI Bank, have a look at Kotak Mahindra Bank. Remember, yesterday it was these private financials that actually did quite well in the session, and in fact they were the one that actually took the market higher. But today they're seeing quite a bit of selling pressure. The other stock on the radar is Divi's Laboratories. On the back of some positive news flow and a relief coming in on the back of no longer are you seeing of immediate entry of a generic in one of the important drugs of this particular company, the stock is higher today by almost 3.5%. So Divi's Lab amongst the top Nifty gainers. The other set of stocks that are doing quite well, insurance stocks, have a look at HDFC Life, have a look at SBI Life. Those are the stocks that are doing very well in the session today. But that's all the time we have on this edition of Midcap Radar. Your stocks when we return.